Let me tell you a story, my friend, of a king called Gilgamesh, who after the death of his friend Enkidu seeks to be immortal. How did Gilgamesh and Enkidu become friends in the first place?
I have no idea.
Anyhow, when Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh becomes obsessed with the idea of becoming immortal. So Gilgamesh hops on Deliveroo or Amazon and quickly orders a serum for immortality. And he doesn't forget to check out with same day delivery. Now as soon as the serum arrives, he gulps it and becomes immortal. Tada! Easy. Wasn't that a fun story?
Boring.
Nah, that was quite terrible. But why? Why was this such a stupid story? It's simple, it's clear, and the reason is that this story has no conflict. There is no problem, no challenge, no disagreement. I mean, even documentaries have conflict nowadays, man. Now let me retell this story a bit differently. Gilgamesh is a tyrannical ruler who mistreats his people until he meets a wild man called Enkidu, who has been created by the gods to be equal to Gilgamesh. The two become really close and embark on a journey to fight monsters and face challenges together. But in a battle, Enkidu is killed. And upon seeing his best friend die, Gilgamesh decides that he will be immortal. He will never die. So Gilgamesh sets out on a journey to find the cure to mortality. And his journey, he comes across a man who is immortal. His name is Utnapishtim, and Utnapishtim, weird name, tells him a story of how the gods granted him immortality. And in this story, Gilgamesh learns that there's a magical plant which can give someone the cure to mortality. So he sets out on another very dangerous journey to find that magical plant. And as soon as he's approaching that plant, a serpent steals it, even before Gilgamesh can touch it. In the end, Gilgamesh realizes that death is inevitable, and upon realizing that, he returns to his kingdom. And in his kingdom, he treats his people rightly because he knows the value of life. He has learned the most important truth anyone can, and he becomes respected for his wisdom, not his tyranny. I hope that this story makes a little more sense to you now. All I've done is added the conflict that it needed. Actually, it had, because it's one of the oldest stories told to mankind. What is conflict? It is a struggle, a tussle between two opposing forces. It is an issue that must be overcome in order to move the story forward. In films, like in life, conflicts make us stronger, they make us grow. And if we're talking about films, there are 4 kind of conflicts that come to my mind. These are the most basic conflicts that have been covered in films that are coming out or have come out or will come out. Number 1 is man versus man. It is a conflict between two characters themselves. Take Die Hard or John Wick for an example. Number 2 is man versus society. Here, our protagonist battles against the expectations or the norms of society. Moonlight and Joker are some of my favorite examples. Number 3, man versus self. Here, the protagonist is in conflict with his own inner desires or his own inner emotions. Take Joker for example, or Her, both by the same actor. Number 4, man versus nature. I think it's quite self-explanatory. Take Titanic or Jurassic Park as examples. Now, if you're writing a screenplay, chances are your conflicts may fall in these 4 categories, and that's completely acceptable. But remember that in a story, apart from the general big broad conflict, there are multiple small conflicts that the characters face on their way. But for now, for the general conflict of your story, use any of these 4 conflicts to get you started. Now don't forget to smile, chin up, shoulders back, and remember that it's about a story.